Okay, so I guess we can cover basics, I guess, together on the topics. We've been married 18 years. We had a post on social media about our top three relationship advice. I don't really remember what I put, but I know one of mine was pick your battles, because I think that is very important. Like Chris said earlier, you don't want to be nagging. Not everything needs to be an argument. It's highly unnecessary. First of all, nobody has that kind of energy. Nobody cares, and it's really not worth it. So pick your battles. Obviously, some things are important to stand up for, but yeah, pick your battles. I don't remember what my two other one was. I don't really have any relationship advice right now. I don't know. I'm not in a vibe. I really have to be in a vibe to do things that you guys might think it's crazy, but it will come to me along the way. Like I'm super chatty, so like random things will come to me. But right now, the really pick your battles. And I think another one, because I've given that advice to people in the past, work on yourself. Because that was a big thing for me in this marriage. If you're a crappy person and you're not happy, nobody else is going to make you happy or is going to make you less crappy. Like you have to work on yourself. Unpopular opinion that people don't seem to realize. If you keep jumping from relationship to relationship and they're not working, I'm so sorry to tell you, but most likely it's not the other person or the other relationships, it's you. You might want to work on something in yourself to bring something better to the table. So I believe in working on yourself is important. Nobody else should be, you should be happy by yourself, with yourself. If you can be happy, like if I, Cappy, can make Cappy happy, if I can stay in, like spend the day by myself and be like super happy with myself, which by the way, I think I'm awesome and I'm the funniest person on planet Earth.
Real clown.
You know, like nobody else can make you happy. And I really had to learn that, like as humans, we look for fulfillment and happiness in other people. And it doesn't work like that. You have to fill your cup up before you can help anyone else. It's the same thing as they tell you in the plane, put on your respirator, whatever, and then you can help somebody. So it's the same thing with life. If you have to take care of yourself. So, you know, like mentally, physically, emotionally, take care of yourself, and then you can take care of everybody else. And when you come as the best version of yourself, you come as the best version of yourself in your relationship, in your parenting, in your business, in every way. So, yeah, self-development has been like, I think it's very important. It's been a game changer and it makes me feel better. So whatever people want to call it, self-development, self-love, all of it, you need to practice it. Um, and I don't really have a third one right now, but it'll come to me. What were your three top? Maybe we should have looked at it on the Instagram first.
But this is, if you notice, Charlie Cappy just came out. She got super excited into what she was saying.
Really?
That was Charlie Cappy. I don't remember what mine was. You caught me off guard and what made me say three things randomly. The one I remember was, I guess, listen to your partner was one thing I think I said. Yes, I listened very well.
I know I'm just talking shit.
Yeah. And by listening, I mean listening and remembering. Maybe you don't always look like you're paying attention, but I listen to everything
Yeah,
she
I'll be
says.
surprised.
Little things that she says, I'll come back and just, maybe do it or something to surprise her often. Like I know she likes flowers, so like we started growing roses, and every day now there's new roses out. I cut them and I put them in a glass
It's so
and I
funny
put
you
them on
brought
a
that
table.
up. I was about to say I will not be lifting Chris up in this podcast because I do not need no horror bags in the DMs. So I will be keeping Chris down. You're a horrible husband.
Yeah, but listening is important because listening also helps, I guess, give the little boost that they need and
Oh yes, the little things in
what things they
relationship.
like.
That's true. That's what the relationship tips. It's the little things. It's the you come downstairs and the kitchen is clean. It's just the little things.
And things that other person likes that you don't have to say, but you just do it. I think is important.
Very. That's what keeps 18 years of marriage. Oh, and the another thing, you're not like keep the romance going. Yeah, there's some stories out there. Ratchet, crazy, sad. Any other tips that you can think of?
On the spot? No.
Okay, so I guess we'll move on from that. So parenting will be another part of relationship. Yeah, Chris said he's very Caribbean. So am I, except that when Ty was growing up and I knew he needed a little bit of beating, I couldn't do the beating because it was going to break my heart. He's so cute. Well, he was so cute. So I would just have Chris do it and I'll just look away. But yeah, we don't do. I will make some comments that like people these days will get you canceled for or will consider a certain way, but I don't really care because it's my podcast and I can say whatever I want. But yeah, I really think there's like a white parenting versus a black parenting, let's be real, and a Caribbean parenting. So we're very black and Caribbean. We don't do corners. We don't do timeouts. I find it useless. I've once seen a kid roll in the middle of the floor at a store. That would have never happened in my house because my son would just know I would just, like pin him. Like Chris said, put a little fear. When we went out, when he was little, I would just need to look at him and he knows it's either he comes down or it's going to be a problem. So we've never had that issue. I think we did great in parenting, not to toot our own horn, but he came out great. People have always given us praise for our son.
Yeah, he was overall a good kid. He didn't really give us much trouble. I don't know if it's because of the parenting or not, but
I like to think it's us.
he got his little beats, but it was never anything really major.
Oh, no, it was nowhere near like what I got. Apparently, you never got beat, but when I met Chris, I thought Chris was an only child. There's apparently 3 of them, but this to tell you how spoiled he is.
I was
sorry,
the baby.
Oma, full facts. The child is spoiled.
I was the baby. There's a 10-year gap between my brothers and my sister.
Child,
whatever you want to
Chris
say.
came out of nowhere.
They needed more love.
I guess God thought so. He came out of nowhere. They came correct.
No, but you know how it is with I guess you can see with parents, parenting over time changes, I would believe. I think if we had another kid again, they would not be treated
different.
They'd be raised differently compared to Ty. I think it would be different, and I think that's difference when I guess the gap too is like you had your first 2 kids, so they get the rough side of things, and and after that it's like I guess you've also grown since the first kid. Hopefully that's how things work in life. You should grow from that time you had the first kid, the mistakes you had maybe with the first one, or things you wish you did differently after you've seen them growing up and how that worked out. Because sometimes after those 4 or 5 years, you realize, you know what, maybe if I did this particular thing different, maybe this kid might have came out differently. So you might change the way, you did things. And I've seen that with some people that, their first kid versus the one they had afterwards, they treat that one differently. It's not because the baby spoiled one. It's just because you've realized certain things that you should have changed, or maybe like cuddling was too much, on the first one or the second one. So you kind of try things up change it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think you've become a different person and you've learned, I think. Yeah.
And I definitely think the boy versus the girls make a difference too. I've seen the dads, of course, the dad syndrome with the dad with the girls, the little princess versus the boy, boy definitely gonna get his ass beat. The princess might, do whatever.
Yeah. Or she has no freedom.
And the mommy becomes the bitch in the relationship. I guess that's how that works. The boys.
Good cop, bad cop?
Yeah. The mom is the bad one. And then with the boys, the dad is the bad one. I guess it makes sense. I don't know if it does, but that's kind of just how it works.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, it really is how it works most of the time. But yeah, when it comes to girls, I think we have a little bit of different aspect. But we always say that if we had a girl, and especially now, Ty being older, Ty would be the hard one in raising her. Yeah, like he would definitely be the rough one compared to us and Chris and then I. I believe that if the boy had certain freedom, so should the girl. And you should rely on how you raise your daughter to know better. Chris is a typical guy, so I know between him and Ty, this poor girl would go like nuts. Yeah.
I don't know what she's talking about.
No, he knows. And most dad know. So friendships. When you're young, everybody's your friend.
Yeah.
I had to teach my son that, like, he said when he was little, some kids didn't like him and stuff. And I'm like, it's okay, honey. By the time you're older, you won't even want that many friends. You just need a like good 5 friends, like, you can rely on quality over quantity. But when you're younger, everybody's your friend. I see a lot of people who have like longtime friends now. I don't have the luxury. I don't know. I think because you change, like people fall over time. Some people don't, some people do, but you start having different point of views. You get married, people move away. Yeah, politics, medicine
Yeah. Medicine. Yeah.
become different. You have different point of views, and I guess people like fall apart. And then you have some people who stick around through thick and thin. You have the people who stick with you when you have different points of view and realize that's okay. And they're the people who can't, and that's fine.
Yeah. That's the thing that I really hate that part of the whole friendship thing is that I don't feel that because you have one particular view, it's like, let's say, Trump versus Biden, whatever. That's because, let's say you like Trump, does not mean that what everything else that we had as a friend should go out the door. Like we're still the same person. We still have everything else in common, but for whatever reason, because, oh, I like this person, I was like, you know what? I can't deal with this too. It's like, that's not how things should be. If life was that one little thing, like nobody could ever get along because there's always something that, you just don't like. Nobody's always going to be a perfect match in whatever way.
Yeah, we're not in a cult. Like, it doesn't have to be like 100% the same people.
Like, shit, it's not a cult thing. Like, we can also be in this group and that group. I mean, just because I'm not in this particular club or whatever it is, we know we can't be friends. Like, I mean, we just don't talk about it. That's just what it is. You just don't talk about those things then. Because you can't mesh with the particular topic, then that's fine. But you have to find a way to balance it, especially with good friends. It makes no sense to drop somebody because of their, what is political or their medical beliefs or religion. I mean, you just don't talk about those things. It's okay. Like, you just know at a point, like, all right, this one, I can't talk about this particular topic because they're going to start flipping out. But other than that, you should be able to get along, in a room and still be friends. But these days it's, you got to get dumped because, you know what, I can't stand you because of this one thing. And that's not how it is. But I guess maybe it gets different when you get older, and I guess you get more stuck in your ways and you're like, fuck it, I guess you're not my tribe, but I don't know. It's stupid to lose long-term friends over simple little things because of your views, or whether it was vaccination, or now I'm Muslim or whatever it is, I'm a Christian, so we can't be friends. Like, it's not that serious.
It really isn't. And to me, I actually love like learning different things from different people. So if you have a different point of view, I like that better because I don't want like everyone to be like me. Like I want to learn things. So if you have a different point of view or you're for somebody, I can learn from how you see life and from how you're looking at the world and your point of view, and I can learn things and then you can learn from me. I think, well, Chris too, we think that's how things should be, but apparently this day and age things are like batshit crazy. I don't know how this works for the podcast, but full disclosure, if you haven't noticed, I curse a lot. So I don't know what Chris is gonna do about that. I don't know how it works on certain platform. I don't know, but this is just me. The only time I try not to curse is when I'm doing business because it's highly inappropriate. But otherwise, this is me in the wild. Sorry. I try to keep it down, but sometimes, yeah.
I have no idea how that works on platforms. We have not gotten there yet. I don't know if YouTube's going to give us strikes for that.
We're going to find out.
I don't know. I'm assuming that the software we use might be able to edit those things out if we needed to, but I guess we have to figure out if it's even a problem.
But I don't even know if I want to be edited. Like, this is me, guys. Like, welcome to Cap World. But yeah, and then one thing with relationships is when people tell you like the relationship changes because you've changed. God forbid, we've been friends for 20 something years and I have changed. How dare I? I am not the same person as I was when I was 13 years old. Yeah, I hope I've changed. Shit, I hope I changed from last year because I have better goal this year. And if I haven't changed, I'm going to be the same weight and I'm not going to lose that weight. So I hope I've changed. Like, I want to change. I want to become a better person. I want to have better style. Like, yeah, I want to be like a better version. So you're supposed to change. So I hate when people tell you, oh, you've changed. I hope you change. I hope you've become an improved version of yourself from last year. I hope you've improved from yesterday's shit. Like, like, yeah.
You know, the sad part about that is, I think the problem is that everybody evolves at different times in their life, and that you might have had a falling out at that particular time because you reached, this level, but then, maybe like a couple of years later, they'll eventually reach that level, but then it's like too late, and then both people are like too stuck on, I guess, building that gap when they kind of reached in, because I guess especially with the kids and parenting, like you might have, like with us, our kids is a lot older than most people. So I guess we did things a lot differently. So I guess kids tend to bring you down to a certain level. So eventually, I guess maybe you reach maybe more maturity versus just still kind of a little crazy. So when you reach that level and you're both on the same page, more or less, you guys could never get back that friendship because both of you get just stingy and just like, fuck it. Friendship is gone
Yeah, you're
because
stuck in the
you're stuck in your ways
whatever.
because of whatever happened. But now you got more mature and you grew up and your ways changed and you realize that, hey, I messed up that whole thing because I was just being stupid, for some petty stuff.
And then you may have too much pride to go back or whatever. But it is what it is. But change is good, guys. Well, for the most part. But yeah, we want to change. We want to evolve. And hopefully we can change your minds on some things, open the rabbit hole. It's not good for everybody, but I like going because I love to learn and I love to find out new things. Like I'm obsessed with learning. Not so good at applying all the time, which is something I'm working on, but learning, I love learning.
Yeah, I think big disclaimer, it's I guess we're here to find our tribe, people who mesh with us is kind of the best way of it. Not every podcast is going to be for everybody. So as we said, be open to different things we talk about. We try to be as neutral as possible, but in an opening way. I don't think we have as harsh views as most people, but we do have our own opinions on different topics. But we're here to open each other's minds and say what we have to say. Find people who can connect with us and like what we have to say.
Hopefully learn from people too. So if anybody end up listening to this podcast and we get some comments, we can learn some stuff too. Like, yeah, like this isn't a one-way street.
No nasty comments, please.
Don't be mean. Don't hurt our feelings. Not that I really care much, but yeah, just don't be stank still. I mean, it does matter a little bit.
But put comments, that helps us in the algorithm, I guess. So good stuff, possibly. Stuff you've liked. Any tips, comments would be great. Positive comments, I should say.
Yes, positivity. Oh my God, that funny guy we watch, the song started falling in my head. Reggae song he does with positivity.
You guys, it's an inside joke. It's this comedian that we watch from Trinidad. Yeah. All I was saying is, if there's any topics you guys would like us to cover, I know it's still new in what we're doing. Anything you'd like us to discuss, put in the comments and we'll look them over and
try to cover that.
At some point through our different bases of the show.